Today I read Exodus 3, which is talking about the story of Moses in the burning bush. Um, Essentially, Moses is tending the flock for his father-in-law, and he comes to Sinai, the mountain of God, and there's a blazing fire coming from the middle of a bush. So the bush is on fire, and Moses stares in amazement because the bush was not burning, but it was covered in flames. So um, God called to him from the bush, called to Moses, and Moses was obviously scared. Um, but God started talking to Moses through this bush, and this kind of shows like that God appearing in this burning bush is what I wrote down. God appearing in a burning bush shows us how God shows himself to us in many different ways, often much less obvious than just by speaking to us literally. So that's an interesting reminder that God may be speaking to you today, and you just maybe don't listen. Um, and then I also wrote down that Moses seems to have imposter syndrome because when God is requesting Moses to go lead the people out of Egypt, Moses says, "Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people out of Egypt?" Because Moses probably feels like a nobody because, I mean, realistically, everyone does. Everyone feels like a nobody. There's a Steve Jobs quote that, I mean, it's pretty famous, but he says that basically, um, it's something like the world becomes much broader or simpler or something when you realize that everything is made up by people that are no smarter than yourselves, which is generally true. Like like we're all people, and so no one is really more qualified or less qualified to do this sort of thing. And obviously, God knows best. So obviously, God knows that Moses is capable of this, but Moses doesn't believe it because he is a person and he's flawed. And my hair is really short and wet. But that's what I read today. Goodbye.